Good afternoon and welcome to LUTV's coverage of the Premier League 2 tie between Leeds United under-21s and Ipswich Town's under-21s. The game from Thorp Arch this afternoon is the second game of the season for Leeds in the league. In terms of a start, it was near perfect last time out with a convincing 3-0 win away at Aston Villa. That followed after the National League Cup disappointment, so great character shown from this young team to bounce back at the first hurdle. And the goals coming from Cresswell and a brace from Harry Gray last Friday in order to get the 3 points. Aston Villa had success as a team last season, so a good, decent performance. Ipswich have started the campaign with a victory themselves, 4-3, so they had to go through the emotions on their opening night of the season, and hopefully we get a good performance once again today. So delighted to say I'm joined by Andy Cunn's. Before I can bring him in, we'll read you the teams first. Leeds go with Rory Mahady. It's then Louis Dudley, Jaden Lienou, Alfie Cresswell, Ruben Lopata-White, Louis Enahoro-Marcus, Connor Douglas, Reece Chadwick, Harry Gray, Oliver Pickles and Coburn Bird. Scott Gardner's bench is Darrell Ombang, Devon Brockie, Johnny Howson, Joshua McDonald and Louis Pirie. As for our visitors, Ipswich go with a goalkeeper in Gray. It's then Babb, Boswell, Mthunzi, Baggott, Turner, Mendel, Barbrook, Taylor, Carr and Ayinde. And the bench for John McGreal. And his travelling party is Barrett, Lewis, Edwards, Pitts and Morgan. So Andy, good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for joining us. Last time out, we've done all 3 games together so far. We had a tough learning curve in the National League Cup. We then had a very polished performance, clinical striker play, great team effort against Aston Villa. But the harder thing about this beautiful game is continuity and repeating that success, and that's what it'll all be about today.
It is, absolutely. It's about you know, keeping the momentum a little bit from the Villa game. They played really well, some really good play going on, and you know, today's another good test for them against you know, a decent Ipswich team, as you say, won as well. You know, they just need to keep that that intensity against Villa, you know, in this game today. But looking forward to it. You know, again, a good chance for the boys to really impress and you know, put their claims forward to the manager to be playing in all these games, but also be pushing forward for the first team.
Yeah, of course, cup competitions will give some of these youngsters a chance to make the bench, even starting them depending on how Leeds decide to deploy their teams for future cup games. Strong challenger right at the heart of proceedings to get this game underway. So Ipswich with Mendel, Taylor and Pitts on the score sheet. A brace from Mendel in the opening game. White back to Mahady. Douglas, it was a pretty quiet game last week, had to work so hard defensively, but in attack it just wasn't his afternoon. Happens sometimes with these players on the wings. He's a player that can drop in as well. He played really well last year as a full-back when he had to, on a wing-back role. Lienou is caught late. Ball inside from Bird, and the left-back playing slightly out of position as a left winger today. Gets forward. Both teams appeal for the throw-in. It looks like it's gone Ipswich's way.
Sounds like their manager's having to go to the referee already on that one, doesn't it? I don't know if anybody can overhear that, but he's talking about, you know, this is about the lads and not about him. But you know, some good play down this left-hand side again. You know, from Bird, I do quite like that he's you know, he's playing in that forward position, because I think he's very much, you know, forward thinking. So some really good play down that left-hand side. But you know, it's always a good physical challenge to start with.
Singing like that, then you know you Hiya, you alright? You're talking to the
Ipswich playing it out.
That's the one that sends me a can't deal with that one.
Going back, no real
That's
tempo
like,
from Ipswich yet in possession, keeping
what's it
hold of the
called,
ball,
Norwich?
keeping it pretty compact.
We're all changing now, aren't we?
New signing Enahoro-Marcus. No real tempo set, Andy. No one's really taken charge of the game just yet.
No, not at all. I think the players have just eased themselves into it. It's not as fluent as what it was against against Villa. But look, you've got to work your way into these kind of games. It is every day's a football day for these boys. It is Sunday morning, and they are just maybe waking up like some of the fans are, and I can see some people watching from the houses as well behind. But look, it's early stages, 3-4 minutes in, and the tempo is definitely a little bit lower than what it was, when they played against Villa. But I'm sure that will come with a little bit of time.
He's trying to go wide for Bird. Well marshalled by Chadwick. Lienou gets it out on the right-hand side. Sorry, left-hand side, should I say. Goes back inside to Pickles. Yeah, as you said, there's no real tempo about the play.
I think it's just something which sometimes you do want to take the heat out of it. You think Ipswich might come straight at you, out of the blocks a little bit, but you'd expect us to be on the front foot a little bit more than maybe what we have been so far. It's a nice hot day out there as well, but that's no excuses, on that side of things. But just one hopeful ball there, which has been seen out of play, and our left back there's the first man forward. So I think Ipswich are trying to take a little bit of the tempo out of it as well, and that might be a tactic from their point of view.
Work for Gray. Scott Gardner cheering everybody along.
That's what you get from Harry Gray, though, isn't it? It's all the work off the ball which you see, and you could hear from the side there the shouting, "Go on, Harry! Go on, Harry!" And keep that closing down. People think defending really comes from defenders from the back four, but actually the first line of defence is your number 9, and it does do that very, very well. It does some tirelessly up on that centre forward position. Sometimes it's a very lonely place, but you've got to put that hard work in, and you'll get your rewards eventually.
Back to Enahoro-Marcus, and again to Mahady. Nice and swift that from Leeds as Chadwick just dropped deep into midfield for a pass, but that was immediately cut out by the tracking run of an Ipswich midfielder. Marcus took a risk, nearly paid off. Picked up off Bird, but the defender will go back and get it, and there's no second run from him. It's not often you see a centre back make one advancing run forward and then make a second.
But the thing there, it opened up for him, and realistically, you want your centre halves to go into that space, because it does change them from the perspective of everybody else around him. It kind of just opens up sometimes, and it certainly did there. And I quite like that from a centre half. I want them to go into midfield. I want them to be a bit more, I suppose, confident in going forward, with the football.
Unfortunate that pass. It was Pickles looking for Lienou.
Another good bit of play though, wasn't it? Pickles is picking up in the middle, and you've got Lienou down this left-hand side again. Him and Bird just swap over, which is really good, because that's what you want that continuity, and that's what Bird gives you down this left-hand side, because he has played left back as well. So, it's a real good combination, because our left back is actually sometimes the furthest person forward.
A late challenge earlier on by Dudley, which Ipswich were desperate for a free kick for. Now he's got to get back and use that pace of his, which he does. Back to Mahady it goes. Her should go back by Cresswell. Into Pickles. Enahoro-Marcus into Bird. From Douglas, very difficult to find Gray. The shout from the other shoulder, but at least he won the original battle. Scott Gardner again barking the instructions for his players to put the press on. Bird and Gray leading that charge. Harry Gray getting a word of encouragement and then praise from his manager Scott Gardner. But these are the fine margins, I guess, when you try to set your stall in the game, Andy, where things aren't going too well for either side in possession. But you are going to get chess matches at this level. That's what it should be about. Academy football, try to outwork each other. And the Leeds way is always hard work first. And at least the forward line so far have certainly done that.
Yeah, any footballer is the first part is hard work. I can remember Gordon Strachan saying, if you're having a bad game of any sort, then it doesn't stop you running around. Hard work costs absolutely nothing, and the boys are doing that. They're closing down, you know, very quickly. As I said before, you know, Harry up the top there's the first point of that, and he triggers everybody else, and he's in here.
Big chance. Gray misplaced pass. Gray's got a tight angle, but he's going to walk this one home, and the pressure does tell. He's worked harder than anyone in that front three, and a simple finish, but by sheer hard work and determination, Leeds have broke the deadlock. They lead by a goal to nil.
And that's exactly why he does exactly what he's been doing. You know, you watch here, Harry's made that. He triggered one off, bad ball back. You know, he's on his front foot, and he's the keeper's got no chance. And to be fair, if you put Harry Gray in that position, he's going to score you a goal. But brilliant from for the boys. But that deserves, you know, he does deserve that because he's working tirelessly. It's only 9 minutes in, but he is working his socks off at the top there, and he's got his rewards with a goal straight away.
Yeah, I'll be hoping the season continues in the same vein that it has done, because he's now got 3 goals with 3 shots for the 21s, such as the last couple of weeks.
It kind of showed that, didn't it, at Villa when he got 2, and he didn't really touch the ball all game, did he? And you know, he got 2 down there. He knows exactly where the goal is, and for a 16, 17-year-old, he's got bundles and bundles of talent.
It's his job now to try and regroup, and Mthunzi has possession. Rolls it into Barbrook, who try and marshal his troops around that midfield. Ipswich, probably the furthest they've been in possession as a unit, really. Dudley glances it away from trouble. White gets it away any way, shape he can, and it's behind for a corner instead of any panic.
Focus on the ball. Dougie, don't lose the ball. What's happening on the ball?
Marcus didn't know much about that.
Hit with Ollie! Hit with it, Ollie! Get out of the box! Get up!
Great into the foot race. The defender is more than happy for him to do that. He had the better angle. Did Babb.
He had a good 10 yards on him as well, didn't he? So, you know, I don't think he saw Pickles was making a bit of a break for it as well. I don't think he saw him out the corner of his eye, but if he just held it a little bit more, I think he might have seen Pickles, and I think he was in front of his defender. So, but look, again, you know, a little bit of mishap in the, you know, from the corner. You know, Dudley missed his kick, and White's, you know, found a great ball out to Harry Gray. But, you know, we have a shape. We have, you know, you can hear them talking, which is brilliant to hear. Don't really know what's going on there. Mahady's come out and obviously shouted. I think we could all hear that. But you leave, for me, you leave your centre half to deal with all that side of it. But a good start. First 12 minutes, 1-0 up.
Yeah, it's not often as you say, you do see your goalkeeper come off his line where he is to head a ball. No wonder Lopata-White didn't expect it.
Well, we all know what Mahady's like with his. He likes to be he likes to get out of it, you know, with his feet. As we said before, he's fantastic with his feet. He likes to get involved. He must have been bored because he's not touched it for the first 12 minutes, and he wants a little bit of a touch of it. But you know, we expect keepers to be on the front foot. For me, there it's leave it with the centre half. He's in control of it. You stay on your line, because if it does just drop to one of their players, it's an open goal from 25 yards out.
Over this free kick is Finlay Barbrook. Referee's happy with proceedings, taken short. Still Ipswich have bodies at the far post. Gray just readjusting the shoelaces, gets out to Babb a little late. Inside ball is on and picked up by Carr, who has the cut back, and it's in. It's a simple goal, and Taylor taps it in. He scored last week, and Ipswich have carved Leeds apart. I think maybe the overriding emotion there would be frustration for Leeds, because they made it look really easy, Ipswich.
Very, very easy, far too easy to put in, but it's a great ball from the 2 here, which it comes back, and sorry, the 7 here just plays it behind Mahady, and it's a great cut back, and he's finished it very, very well, but too easy from Leeds' point of view. I would say that it was a nothing free kick, passed out, and it was like walking pace, wasn't it? You know, as you said it from the start, we kind of need a little bit more intensity in this game. Something to put the foot in, make a bit of a challenge. You know, let's make it a little bit more feisty, which then makes it, you know, a bit more competitive, which means you might get a little bit more space and keep hold of that football a little bit more.
Carr again, good position. Pickles takes him out. Number 10 on number 10. Effort comes in, that's the number 5 that had to go there. In Baggott's Taylor challenging with Cresswell. Originally the deflection went the way of the Ipswich defender after a very low-key start for the Tractor boys. Burst into life the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, but we're just on the back foot a little bit, aren't we? You know, we haven't really won the second balls yet. Again, we're second to the ball there from from their free kick. We just need to be on the front foot a little bit more, I think, from our point of view. Ipswich, fair play to them. You know, 15 minutes in, they've decided to get the foot on the ball and move it around a little bit, and the Carboners are making counters open and making a few problems for us at this present moment in time. And you know, we just need to get hold of that ball and keep hold of it for a little bit and move it around a little bit quicker. I think that was our throw-in as well, maybe. Yeah, disappointing on that side of it. Really disappointing goal when you look back at it. It's far too easy, but a great cutback. But yeah, again, I want a bit more kind of urgency in it.
Yeah, frustration, I'm sure, defensively for Leeds. I think Ipswich, in giving the goal away, practically woke them up a little bit. It's Lienou, back to Pickles. Now Chadwick. Chadwick only had Cresswell central that was in advanced position, so he decided to play it safe. Douglas to Dudley. Tracked all the way, that by Ayinde of Ipswich. Wanting somebody from Ipswich to burst out, so there's a gap in the press, but no Real movement. That's a better ball though to Mahady. What a pass indeed. It's from Mahady towards Dudley. Cutback is on. Doesn't use it. And the number 9 will give him the eyes.
What a ball.
And more, but what a pass. What a first touch as well. Should he pass, Andy?
Yes, 100%, but I can see exactly why he's taking the shot on. What a ball it was from Mahady in that sense. His left foot as well. We keep talking about his distribution. You know, he's fantastic with his feet. But that ball is, you know, it's a midfielder's kind of dream ball. Is that one? He's taken a great first touch as Dudley. I can understand why he has taken the shot on, but if you're going to take the shot on there, you need to go across the goal. But if you just nice little cross ball into Harry, he was free as a bird, and it would have been a very easy tap in for him and would have been 2-1 up. So you've got to make them right decisions, and unfortunately there, if you don't score, it's the wrong decision, full stop, because Harry would have scored. Just shows you what one ball can do though, isn't it? You know, one ball over the top, it can just open everything up for you, and that's exactly what it did there. But you know, Mahady's distribution, as I said before, he's always been fantastic. He's great with his feet, and you've got to remember that wasn't with his right foot, that was with his left foot. That's with his weaker foot. So you know, it's a great asset to have, and it was disappointing that we didn't get the goal. Great run from Dudley to get in round the back, and as I say, for me, he should have passed that to Harry Gray, no problems whatsoever.
A slight nudge then, which put him off. Just mentioned that he couldn't get to the play. Enahoro-Marcus beat Lienou in the air to concede the throw. Just coming forward here. This is dangerous for Leeds. Tapping. Taylor was there. It's bounced over his leg. Ayinde again. A couple of players just got their positioning slightly wrong here by the looks of things, Andy.
Just far too easy again, wasn't it? You know, he's Pickles is trying to get him down the line and things like that. You've got to defend there. The first point of call is that you've got to get your body between the goal and the ball, and you have to
break off because Carr's having a go. Ipswich are really turning the screw here a little bit on Leeds. Saved late by Mahady and tapped in. Offside appeals. Mahady could only tap it straight back into the path of what looks to be Thomas Taylor again. And the skipper gets a second. Original effort coming in from Boswell. 20 minutes, Ipswich are leading 2-1.
Just too easy again, isn't it? You know, the ball's gone across. It's gone across to the left back there. He's had a save. You know, can Mahady push it out a little bit more? It's come through a few people, but we're just standing still for the rebound. And you know, the big captain, number 9, is in the right position at the right time, and he was never going to miss from that point. It's we just seem to be not quite on it. I think we seem to be. I think they've been to the races with me yesterday, to be honest with you. Some of them, they're just not reacting. You know, they're not reacting to it. They're not. You know, we're second to the ball. You know, most of the time around the football pitch. You know, but the back four at the minute, we just seem to be very static, and we're not normally like that.
Frustration for he's been forced into a mistake to go long.
I think you're right there, Tom. Frustration is the right word. The manager will be down there, and I think he'll be frustrated with that. I think, you know, your centre forward will be as well, you know, because they're doing all this hard work at the top and they're trying to get the goals and things, and then you know, silly little mistakes really, and not following your runners, and you know, we're getting punished for it.
Douglas down the line to Pickles, racing across with him, the number 4, to try and bounce him off the ball, and Mthunzi does just that. Marshals it well at the back for Ipswich. Crossfield ball reaches Lienou. Tried to control it, got the ricochet, can now drive into space if he can just wrestle a free from his marker. Two players having a bit of a disagreement. Referee tells them to calm it down.
That's what I want to see from the referee, though. Just keep it going. No point in stopping it.
Yeah, it's between Lienou and Barbrook. to Mahady, who plays it to Pickles. They're working risky sort of places that from Leeds, but it worked. Believed in themselves. It's given them half a chance here to get to the byline. Dudley having a wrestling match with Ayinde that he's lost. Just are working very hard defensively. And it'll be a good battle for Leeds to get back into this. This is going to be a hard afternoon at the office.
It is. It's going to be a tough day because, you know, as you say, they are working very hard to claim the ball back, and, you know, some good work down there, you know, from their left winger, the 11. You know, Dudley was fantastic against Aston Villa the other day, you know, but he's met his match this time. He's got his pace, you know, up and down the football pitch, but, you know, good defending from their left winger. Some good play in the middle though, 1-2 touch balls in and around little triangles, you know, open the space up a little bit more as well. You know, you have to do that. You have to be comfortable and confident on the football, and, you know, that was much better. That's what we expect, you know, from the lads, and sometimes you do have to take that little bit of a risk in the middle of the park.
Bird. There is Chadwick. Uses Bird as run as a decoy. Cresswell's been forced away. The four-way press from Ipswich is strong. Cresswell gets taken out. It's Carr's challenge. Lienou and Barbrook again will have a bit of a disagreement. There will be at least a talking to.
But good defending from them. Look at them. You know, there's 4 of them around the ball. They're hungry to get hold of it.
A yellow card.
And a yellow card, you know, which was deserved. I think he's gone in with a bit of intent there, and, you know, he's definitely caught hold of Cresswell. But you know, you've got to give Ipswich credit. They're working the socks off to get around that football to really win that ball back in some dangerous areas.
Chance here for Gray. Nips in like he did for the first. Can he lay it back? He tried to pick out Pickles, just a fraction delayed as Bird runs into his own feet there. Just try to juggle it out and find the space.
Yeah, it just wouldn't run for him if it was a little bit further forward. I think that first touch would have been a left foot straight across the goal as quick as he possibly can. But you know, again, good pressing from Harry Gray at the top, and he's, you know, realistically, he's tried to make the right ball to bring it back into play. But you know, again, good defending from Ipswich.
Lienou gets caught by Carr. A couple of challenges here. Work from Pickles. Scott Gardner telling Coburn Bird not to force things. He listens to the gaffer and Leeds play it back into their own half. Enahoro-Marcus back to Lienou. Dudley's got past his man, but needs a help in hand. Slips just as he's about to try and play the pass. Now with Ayinde to wrestle his way past Chadwick, and the yellow card is going to come out for Reece Chadwick, who shakes their head in frustration.
Yeah, there was a bit of pace there, wasn't there? He was in front of him. I think he just pulled his shirt back. But another great ball for Mahady as well. You know, over to Dudley, but then just lost his footing a little bit. But he, you know, he's kind of away there. He has pulled him back a little bit, and if you're pulling somebody back now, you're going to get a yellow card.
Corner to Ipswich. Take it short. Leeds been urged to push out, not try and count themselves inside their own penalty box. Ball whipped into the edge of the area now, though, for Mendel, who goes to ground. Penalty appeals. He's claiming he's caught in the face. to try and release it to Gray. He's been covered all the time, but the referee is now going to stop play for Mendel to receive some treatment at 2-1 to Ipswich, 27.5 minutes gone.
Yeah, I don't think he really touched him there, did he? He's rolling around. He's not done too much, you know, to him there. But you know, it's been started off very positive, didn't it? You know, with the 1-0, and you know, we've been a bit disappointing then for that middle part. We need to get the back onto the ball. 100%, it's not a penalty. So this is Harry there. You know, he's a centre forward he's just looking for that mistake, isn't he, all the time? And you know, that was a good finish. He could have had two if somebody had crossed it to him. But at that point, we all thought, you know what, we're going to go on here. But this is far too easy for me. It comes out to the right back, and he plays it out, and he tries to play 10 in there. But like, that's just such an easy ball in. Good movement, good ball in, and a good finish from them. But we were very static, you know, for that one. And you know, this was very similar again, wasn't it? You know, ball in, which was far too easy. He's had a little shot at it. Could Mahady have done a little bit better here, possibly? Could we have reacted better? Definitely. You know, so they've done well of Ipswich to get back into this football match. And you know, it's going to be a hard afternoon, as we've said already, for us boys for Leeds to get back into this.
Yeah, a few drinks on board and a few tactical updates. Scott Garner trying to tell players what he wants them to do. Centre backs, the focus here with rival Enahoro-Marcus being given an instruction or two. Lopata-White also. So maybe defensively we might see a bit of a difference in Leeds in possession. Possession at the heart of Ipswich's defence. The man misplayed that back pass. Brave ball from Gray, the goalkeeper for Ipswich.
Keep going! Keep going! Keep going!
Out. Very, very close.
Looked out to me, did that one.
Dudley's dropped in. Ipswich have worked for that, and now they've got their opening with Boswell trying to get in behind. Deflected cross. Dudley's done well to cover.
He's done well to get back there, hasn't he? Because it was a good ball through, good little break from, you know, from Ipswich down that left-hand side. Another ball which has gone, you know, inside the full-back, and you know, he's on a foot race then, and he's come back and, you know, retreated very well.
Physio being invited on for Coburn Bird, who is feeling the back of his left hamstring. Which is never a good sign. I think Leeds may naturally just decide to make a change here, considering the time on the clock.
Yeah, if you're holding your hamstring, 9 times out of 10 you're going to be coming off. It's quite high up in the hamstring though, if it's going into the glutes from the look of it, but I would imagine they'll make a change here.
Yeah, so looking at the team, you've got Joshua McDonald, who's a natural left winger, will be a like for like. Brockie has played in midfield out wide as well. It should just be like for like with McDonald coming on in place of Coburn Bird, who we hope for now he's just able to recover from this injury as fast as possible. Early stage of the season, never want to see anybody down for either team. And you certainly don't want them to miss a large period of the season.
Looks like the change is happening. as we said, when you've got a hamstring problem, very, very rarely you're going to carry on. And that is the case now.
Yeah, so it'll be 16 McDonald coming on for 11 in Bird. So a change that we might have seen regardless in the second half. Gets a good hand to the ball. It's good skills from the Ipswich player. McDonald's been beaten. Across the box. Mahady gets the big shout in. It's the dangerous work once more of Tudor Mendel, who got a brace the last time Ipswich played in the league against Derby in that 4-3 win. You can see the trickery he brings to the party.
Great little turn, wasn't it? You know, reminded me of Rafinha back down at Ellen Road when he did that, and you know, good little play from him. And he's been tricky all afternoon. He's getting into little pockets, and he's not afraid to, you know, do a trick or two, but also he's not afraid to track back and do the hard work as well at the same time.
Yeah, certainly made an impression. Ipswich in general have caught the eye with some of their hard work, but yeah, it was the skill. You appreciate them.
Great little bit of play. If I did that, I think my hip would be still in the same position. You know, even when I was playing, I think my hip would have been still in the same position. But that
wasn't your game, though.
No, it wasn't. Just kick him as hard as you can. I'll tell you one thing, he won't be doing it again. I know that much. You know.
Enahoro-Marcus trying to break out from danger, but only straight into the path of the number 8, which is Barbrook. Ball pass from Ipswich intercepted by Douglas. On the attack, he goes out wide to Dudley. Dudley's trying to turn this move into something, but again, Ipswich just really strong in defence. And a crossfield ball now gives Mendel a chance to break free. He's got Lienou trying to cover him. Again, he flicks the tricks out. Lienou's still with him. Headed back into the danger zone. It's an opportunity for Carr. He didn't realise it.
Don't think he fancied the one-on-one there, did he? He saw Mahady come in at the side of his high, and just I think Mahady had just done enough for him. But again, some more good trickery down this left-hand side, or our left-hand side there, right-hand side for Ipswich. You know, he's got he's full of confidence, isn't he? And that's what you don't want. As I say, you've got to get tight to him, and when you get tight to him, you know, he can't do any of that. You know, those tricks. You let him turn a little bit too easy. And you know, if you do that, I think he's going to try some more. But as I said, back in my day, he won't be doing any more of them tricks. He'll be in a stand somewhere. I have to say, and I know Ben Parker will be saying exactly the same thing.
Yeah, here's Chadwick. Little nibble by Carr. Leeds are getting a tad frustrated at some of the challenges coming in from the Ipswich 10.
We have changed the system a little bit, because like Dudley's not playing as a right back at this present moment in time. He's a bit more of an inside right, he seems to be playing. I don't know where and how we changed it. I'm trying to see from the position of what we are, but I don't know if Cresswell's going back into the centre half and being the third man and be a back three a little bit more when we actually are under a bit of pressure. But Dudley's, the two fullbacks are playing quite in when we have the ball. Now it's a traditional 4-4-2, but just watch now, Dudley will follow him in most likely. You know, we've got Douglas out on that right hand side, who's kind of playing right back to a certain point.
He's been beaten here though. Cut back is on. Another one right across the face. Carr slips, puts it past the near post. Mahady made the first interception. Thomas Taylor just stood in the 6-yard box for nearly 3 of Ipswich's goals, because you'd feel that the Tractor boys should be 3-1 up.
Yeah, it's just too easy again, isn't it? That little ball which goes in, and no disrespect to Douglas, but he's not a right back. He's getting beat down that right hand side all the time. We just seem to be a bit out of shape a little bit, and I think, you know, it's what Johnny Howson did when we played Villa. He would have gauged all that, and he would have brought people into it. That's what he's there for. But like, you look where Dudley is now, he's really high up on the pitch and generally in front of you know, Douglas down that right hand side. So there has been a little bit of a change. I think it needed a little bit of a movement around of the boys, because you know we are second best to everything at this present moment in time.
White across to Mahady. Into Chadwick. Tracked all the time by Barbrook, who's been in the face of all the Leeds' midfielders so far. Here is McDonald. Kept with the Leeds winger. Enahoro-Marcus gets the shout from Mahady, who's deploying as like a third centre half. Dudley's tucking in then as like a third centre mid as well.
We kind of got to 5 at the back at that point.
Yeah,
right idea.
Play it early into the channel.
He saw them running, didn't he? He had 2 of them going into that area, and neither of them made the run. But it was a ball which I think the 2 centre forwards just stopped for a second, and that just gave him. We're not going to get it, but it was a good ball in down there. But we are changing it around a little bit, as I say. You know, Dudley's definitely coming in when we have the ball. You know, here he is again. He's trying the tricks, isn't he? You know, down this right-hand side for Ipswich. But you know, when we have the ball, and particularly when Mahady has it on his own, a little bit further up the pitch, it does seem to be that our full-backs are tucking right into the middle of the park. You know, we've got our then 2 wingers. You can see McDonald now coming in. He's coming into that spot now, and it's a strange one really, because now we've got no left-back. So when it comes out to here, we've actually got nobody of any width. You know, we shouldn't have Cresswell out here. He should be in the middle of the park. It's a bit disjointed, if you ask me, at this present moment in time. And I think the need, you know, get through this 5 minutes. You know, let's see if we can get something from a set piece or something. But you know, get in at half time, and you know, the manager can have a proper chat to them and really sort it out, because we do look a bit disjointed when we have the football.
Yeah, so Chadwick with a shoulder barge on Mthunzi, who didn't appreciate it. He's managed to win his team a corner as a result, which the referee now is not happy with something he's seen further up the pitch, right on the goal line. It is Douglas in a shoving match with Ayinde.
He's not even looking at the ball, is he?
Far post, begging for a touch. Claiming as a handball, was a push anyway in the build-up by Leeds. Free kick to Ipswich. 5 minutes left until the end of the first half.
Yeah, you could see there that, you know, the I don't know which one it is. He's 11, isn't he? He's not even looking at the football there. You know, that's where you need. The ref's already given him a little bit of a chat. So, you know, that's where you got to be clever as a player. You know, you've got to go just barge into him and just, in a way, fall over, because the ref's thinking about it already beforehand. That's something to watch, because he wasn't even, as I say, wasn't even looking at the football on that corner. And nowadays you can't push anybody or do anything in the box on a set piece.
They cuts in from the wing to offer a helping hand in the centre of midfield. It's prodded forward by Baggott. Carr flicks it out to the wing, looking back for Ayinde. And Leeds have it covered defensively. It's unlucky for Dudley. Frustration. Sarcastic cheers almost from Ipswich.
I think it
probably happens one a year.
Sums our half up, doesn't it, really, to be perfectly honest.
Good work from Douglas. I mean, if you're Ipswich's, you know, persuasion, you'd arguably say that Leeds' only moment of joy was gifted to them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Ipswich have played really well. I think, you know, they've got some good attacking players. They've got some flair up there. They've got the big lad, you know, the captain, number 9, is a big unit up there, but he's moving around. They're working very hard in midfield. They're pressing all over the football pitch. They don't want us to have the ball at all. So as the Ipswich manager itself, you'd be very, very happy at this present moment in time, because they've made it a very, very hard, you know, first half for Leeds United. And, you know, they've got the rewards with the 2 goals. You can see it here. They're non-stop working. They're putting the press on all over the football pitch.
behind it goes. To Lopata-White, pressurised up towards Douglas, doesn't stick for Leeds. Referee will penalise McDonald for the pullback rather than Chadwick for the challenge. Cresswell's not happy here at the pullback. McDonald's trying to explain.
It wasn't Cresswell there though, was it?
No, so McDonald pulled back, Cresswell was the one that put the challenge in.
And Cresswell then put it down. You can see it here in the replay. So you know that's what he's pulled up for. That's not a free kick. You know, he's already pulled up for the first free kick.
He's booked the wrong, if he's not happy with the pullback, he's booked the wrong man.
He's booked the wrong man, yeah. And that's what Cresswell was saying to him. You've already blown the whistle when I've gone in for the challenge, because he's got the one beforehand.
Overpowered that pass. Mahady gets caught in possession. Cresswell puts the challenge in to at least slow this Ipswich attack down. Looked again. And Mthunzi. Here is Mendel, who was beating Lienou. McDonald, and then Lienou gets in. He's won the ball as well.
He's won the ball there, and I think that you know, he's obviously gone down. He might have caught him with one of his his trailing foot, but I don't see too much. Personally, I don't see too much in that. From what I first saw, he's clearly got the ball. Obviously, the ref's going to book him because he likes his yellow cards at the minute. But here we go. It goes out wide. He's tried a bit of trickery. He's lost his ball a little bit. He's just gone a little bit too far, and that's the point then. And he's won the ball. Yes, he's got him on his trailing foot, and that's what he's most likely, booked him for. But
yeah, he clips him in the left first, doesn't he? But as you say, massive contact on the ball. Lienou will suggest that there was enough in that to let the play go, but in the modern game, highly unlikely. There'll be a lot of our viewers probably shaking their heads in frustration at what they would be on their feet for if they were inside Ellen Road. So, yeah, frustration is the main word of the day for this first half, I think. But a 6 minutes of stoppage time, we believe, signalled at the end of this first half. There's a looping ball in. A header, I think Mthunzi, the one that gets to it first. There's a Leeds player down in Dudley. But he's okay. Set pieces have been good as well from Ipswich.
Yeah, good ball in. He just can't get over the top of that to direct it downwards, but a really good ball in. As I said, they've been very good of Ipswich. We've got to give them credit. You know, they've worked hard. The set pieces are good. They've got some good interplay in the middle of the park. But their hard work of pressing us is what they're getting rewards from. You know, they're putting us under real pressure. Again, here we are. They're all over us. You know, it's great defending from the front from Ipswich, and we find it very difficult to get through them.
Leeds are frustrated there because they had the ball. Lienou, I think, wanted to continue. It's been one of the only real occasions Leeds have managed to wrestle past the aggressive pressing of Ipswich and found space. McDonald gets the shout from Chadwick. Lienou bursting on the inside. Chadwick ignores him for now, glides past him, floats it towards Douglas. It'll be hard to reach him, he doesn't. And Ipswich with Taylor receive the ball back. Pickles puts the challenge and referee says that's a free kick. Even though it looked like he got a slight touch. Referee with the better view suggests not. Ipswich have done really well though. They've got under the skins of Leeds as well. You know, they've managed to mentally get to them as well, which is a big advantage for them going into that second half.
Yeah, especially when, you know, Leeds have, you know, we went 1-0 up very quickly. You know, we're thinking, all right, here we go. You know, same as, you know, last week against Villa, but they've dug in very well. As you say, they've got under our skin, but that's because they're running around. they're chasing every ball down. They're putting the press on all over the football pitch. You know, they've worked very, very hard for this, you know, in this first half, and they've got their rewards with the 2 goals.
Good ball in. Lienou flicks it, clears in the right place at the right time. The Leeds fullback. I've got to be very careful though not to get and foul the number 7 as another tap-in's coming in. I'm going to say offside against Ayinde. That was going in. I think that's the biggest issue for Ipswich. That ball was going in, I think, from Carr. But this man, the number 7, Mendel, has had a field day out
Too
there.
easy though, isn't it? Again, it's far too easy. What's the?
It's going in, that ball.
Yeah,
If he doesn't touch
yeah.
it, it's 3-1. Gray's caught. Barbrook's put himself about up there as well. There's a lot. Is it? Carr and Barbrook have been happy to put the challenge in all day. They've got to lead in that regard. They're happy to leave the foot in. They've just got to try and use that to their advantage in the second half if they can. As Gray takes him on and drives into the area. Tries to cut it back. He's unfortunate. It's very unlucky. Great run. Deserved a bit more. Lienou into Chadwick. He might even line it up for a shot. He will. It's blocked well by Mthunzi. Now Dudley in a foot race with Ayinde. And Ayinde wins it. The 2 tricksters out wide for it, which is of course carnage. Dudley gets back to his credit. Referee says no free kick. And fair enough, if you're a fullback, Andy, and you're a coach or a fan, and you get beat, all fans, all management want, or even your teammates, is get back and at least try. And Louis Dudley has got pace to burn, and he does just that.
Absolutely, and that's what you want from your fullbacks. If you do lose it, you have to get back in as quick as you possibly can. And Dudley is, you know, no exception of that. He's got oodles of pace, which we know. You know, he's not had the best of first halves. You know, but as I said before, you know, you've got all there's nothing stopping you running and doing the hard yards, and that's certainly what he's doing. He's digging in nice and deep down there, which he has to do, because they've been very good down that left hand side, and their right hand side they've been very good.
Dudley gets across. Free kick conceded here on Taylor. Set piece in a dangerous area, this for Ipswich.
Yeah, we've got a couple of minutes left, haven't we? And their set piece have been pretty good, and they've got plenty of height of Ipswich. So you know, we've got to switch on again. I think if we go in 2-1 down, I think the manager will actually be quite happy, because I think they could have been more.
Dealt with originally by Enahoro-Marcus. Pickles dives in. Referee said it's a free kick. And a lot of stoppages in this game today.
Moment, manage it.
Header away, and there is half-time. So disappointment for Leeds, considering they took the lead inside the 10th minute through Harry Gray. But a brace from Taylor ensures they're 2-1 down at half-time. Join us soon for second half commentary. Welcome back then to LUTV's coverage. We are about to get underway for the second half of this PL2 match. Leeds United under 21s versus Ipswich, and they lead 2-1 to the Tractor Boys after a brace from Taylor inside 7 minutes. Leeds were gifted their goal with Harry Gray tapping in from a yard out, if that, after a misplaced pass. He rounded the keeper, coolly finished. But Ipswich pretty much from there on in, it woke them up a little bit, in fairness. Andy, myself, Tom Hill and Andy Cousins bringing you all the action. They sort of just went, all right, yeah, fine, well, that's a mistake. And ever since then, Leeds have had a couple of pop shots. That's about it. They've out-muscled Leeds, they've out-fought them, tactically they've had a plan to frustrate. But again, this is a group that cruised to victory against Aston Villa. There's a lot of ambition and potential in this group. They will feel they've got a second half comeback. And you read a really good point at the end of the first half. At 2-1, there's half a chance because arguably it could have been 3. And at the minimum.
It should have been 3. You know, they had the chance, didn't they? Which he's trying to nick it off his mate, and he's been called offside. But look, we need to come out of the box a lot better than what we did. You know, for the majority of the first half. You know, Ipswich have come out at us and really trying to put the press on. They're here again. You know, now try to put that press on, try to put the pressure on. You know, from right up the top of the football pitch. But we've got to be better passes. We've got to be more crisp with our passes. We've got to keep hold of the football a lot better. Even now, straight away, we've been a little bit more sloppy again. You know, with our first touches, we just seem to be at the races today a little bit as what we were. You know, certainly against Villa, but. At 2-1, you're still in it. The next goal's massive for either. And that was the prime example there. That's exactly what I've just been talking about. He's through here. Yeah, I'll let you go on.
Picks up the ball, turns inside past Baggott. Layoff is there if he needs it. Deflected. Leeds have done well to scramble.
That is the prime example of what we're saying. You know, we just sat there. Pickles is waiting for the ball to come to him. You know, when we were playing at Villa, we went to meet that football. You know, when the ball comes in with a certain amount of pace, you know when that ball comes into you, how that, you know, is there somebody up your backside? Are you waiting for somebody, or you've got time, or whatever it will be? You kind of get being told with the pace of the football when it's coming in. You know, he had an opportunity there to go forward and get the ball, but he just stood still, and Ipswich were just on top of you, and created a decent chance, to be fair, and obviously they've got the corner.
Dangerous ball. Free header at the back post. Baggott's trying to tee up a teammate. Carr picks it up, lays it off into midfielder in Finley Babb, but it's wide from him.
Josh, might be you as well, Josh. Josh.
Leeds have gone with Mahady, Dudley, Lienou, Cresswell, Lopata-White, Enahoro-Marcus, Douglas, Chadwick, Gray, Pickles, and McDonald. Bird did start the game, but went off with a hamstring issue, so McDonald replaced him. Ipswich looked to be unchanged at the start of this second half. So here is Babb. Shooter Mendel striding forward, challenge from Pickles, gives Chadwick half a chance. Gray's peeling away from him. Right-footed option to Douglas, who's in support. 3 against 3. Douglas skips inside. He doesn't play the pass. Wanted one more touch and maybe look for an avenue inside. Chadwick made the forward run, and now Leeds are on the back foot because Carr has got free. Dudley sprinting back. He's not going to get there though. Carr is through. Dudley gets back at the last second, and a rush pass from Carr. Dudley to not get there must be struggling, such as the pace, but he closes the ground very, very late, and that, I think, if you're a forward, Andy, I'm guessing you've got a player breathing down your back, and just when you've got to be bang on with your pass or shot, it puts you off.
Yeah, absolutely, but I think White's got to go across a little bit more. I think he got a bit too far, did the centre forward there. He got a little bit too far up the pitch for me, but Dudley, we know he's got pace, and he never give it up, and that presence, you know, just put him off at the very last minute. But again, another good opportunity from Ipswich's point of view. We're putting a lot of this pressure's coming from our own mistakes, our own sloppy passes, and we need to be better on the football.
Enahoro-Marcus takes over into Chadwick. Lienou on his inside. Out wide was McDonald. Cresswell again, dropping in, offering like a different angle. He's a centre-half by trade, so no issues for him.
If you look now where our right back is and our left back's actually playing centre forward pretty much. You know, when you look at it, you know, and Dudley's right in on the 5. You know, it's definitely a plan.
Yeah, Gray back towards Dudley, could have hit it, skips past, tries to finish, it's unlucky. Good block from Baggott, and then cleared away by the number 4 Mthunzi. As you rightly said, Andy, it was like a different tactic deployed, and then Leeds all of a sudden had a 4 opportunity in the box. Douglas to the far post, too easy for the keeper. Caught easily by Henry Gray. But yeah, because of the tactical tweak, Dudley was second striker. If he does, if he's at normal right back spot, Ipswich have got a simple clearance.
Yeah, absolutely. He's done really well to get into that little spot, and a last-ditch tackle kind of thing. But did he get a touch? Did he stay up? Was he a bit too honest? Because I think he was. I think he was just clipped a little bit, when he went through. But yeah, look, it's a good opportunity. One of the best bit of players we've had. But it is definitely a change, when we've got the ball, particularly when Mahady's got it here. We can see our fullbacks are so far up the football pitch. It's kind of untrue. He's in there now again, that little space. Again, Harry, we've got to. That ball there, we know there's somebody up your backside. We've got to be a bit stronger and a bit more, aware of the people around us when the ball's coming into us, because it's coming back far too easy from all angles.
Cresswell down the line to Gray. You've got Chadwick in support. Behind him is McDonald. Gray waits for them all to pass, looking for an avenue. Because it's good defending from Baggott. He's got a hold of his arm. I think both holding each other. Cresswell nips in. McDonald picks up the pass from him. But again, it's so strong in defence, forcing any of the danger players from Leeds away from the area. Into Chadwick once more. Rolled out towards Lienou. Good feet from him. Carr clips him. Ref says no free kick, in fact. In fairness to Lienou, there's no appeal, so referee must have got that spot on.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he did clip him there, and I was thinking, well, he's already on a yellow card as well. But again, a bit more better play down that left-hand side. We're keeping hold of the ball a little bit, but I'll go back to it. When that ball comes into you anywhere on the football pitch, you've got to be aware of what's behind you. What Ipswich are doing really well is they're just nipping in front of us, because we are on our heels a little bit when that ball comes into us, and then that puts more pressure back onto us. But look, it's a bit more encouraging for the last 3 or 4 minutes. We've been a little bit more attacking. We've had a decent half chance there. Harry's obviously down the right hand side, picking the ball up as well. So it is a bit more positive. But they're in again down that Ipswich's right hand side, our left hand side, with a little tricky winger.
Yeah, comes in because Mendel has a shot towards goal, but it's blocked. Mahady's second attempt gets hold of possession, but Mendel's been a thorn in their side since the minute he switched to like supportive second striker sort of role, really. Since they've got him out in some free space. Once he did his first trick that worked, he has been full of confidence. Here now is McDonald. Leeds his own flamboyant winger who's trying to get on the front foot himself. Takes on 3 players. Ipswich pushing them back. Here's Chadwick. Towards Gray. Headed away by Baggott. So just past Dudley. Lopata-White up there in support. Dudley wide to Pickles, who's able to pick out Douglas. Return pass is on. In fact, he picks out Cresswell. And Pickles back to Cresswell. Beautiful from Leeds, and it's slotted into the far corner. Great goal. Great teamwork. Even better passing and vision. And Leeds make it look so easy. Best move of the match from Leeds United. It's 2 apiece. Absolutely.
Great little bit of play down this right-hand side. Dudley's got a hold of the ball. Here, he plays the right ball out wide. And then the space just opens up. Some good one-touch football. Plays it inside again. And he just carries on his run, does Pickles. And I think they've got to do better. I don't know if it's come off the 4 and it's like a little deflection, but, a great finish. And we said it earlier on. The next goal is massive. We've not really been in this football match so far today, but it's still 2-2. It just shows what, these boys are a good team, and, they know how to get back into games. Now it's to keep going and try and get another one.
Yeah, all right, looking at it, it probably looks like it took a touch and on its way. Mendel to Carr. Got Taylor on his outside. Pickles gets back. Puts the arms around the midriff and certainly plays with a swagger, does the number 10, Ryan Carr.
Yeah, he's got to be a little bit careful as well, though, doesn't he? If I was Leeds now, I'd be digging at him a little bit, because he's on a yellow card already.
Chadwick, I was going to say, if anyone's going to say it will be Rhys Chadwick, and you look at, and Rhys Chadwick is the first person to make sure he lets him know what he thinks.
I'd give him, when he's got the ball, little niggles, because I think he could get himself into a bit of bother, to be fair. The referee's given a few nice, easy yellow cards out there, and I think he does have to be careful, because I think he's got a bit of a live wire in him as well. But we've got to defend this free kick now in a dangerous area from Ipswich's point of view. It's a good ball.
Yeah, good ball. Baggott just gave centre-half for Enahoro-Marcus, a nudge which put him out of position. That little nudge there, it meant that if the ball was a bit softer, they've got a tap in.
Yeah, very good. Carry. Yes,
Pickles his back pass. Was offside. To Cresswell, back to Dudley. Mahady on his weaker foot has a good pat into Chadwick. Ref wants the free kick. And Chadwick and Barbrook have a little bit of a disagreement while on the floor. Here's McDonald. McDonald skips away, now lays it out towards Pickles. He's got Douglas charging forward. To play it back, she doesn't have full control over it. So measured that by Conor Douglas. Pickles back to Cresswell.
Good defending from Ipswich's point of view. Looked a little bit of an attacking situation for Leeds, and they've got it all the way back to our keeper, and they can reset. So good defending from Ipswich.
Slight touch, Douglas still brought it under control. Good feet as well from the number 7. Pickles back to Lopata-White. He's just maybe crispened it up a little bit in possession, a bit sharper.
Yeah, I think the goal's given them that little bit of confidence, really. They're pinging it around a little bit, they're keeping hold of it, they're making Ipswich work hard to try and get hold of the ball, and you know, hopefully the spaces just open up. But yeah, definitely a little bit more crisper than what they were in the first half.
Lienou, you could see the ball. The referee said it's a carry on. Carr had to back out. It's a good work from Lienou. Now he plays in Gray. On the angle, Harry Gray trying to find that little pocket of space to have the effort. He's frustrated. He opens up his body. He gets the shot away, but he just dipped in the right place. And for the first time, really, Leeds have won a 50-50 that the referee has let go. Ipswich stopped for a second, and then all of a sudden, it was a chance to score. Yeah,
he's done some good work in there twice. He took it off the number 8 in the middle of the park, and you know, Harry's got it down that side there, and he's created the space, opened his body up. You know, it's a very difficult you know, angle from where he is, because I think the keeper's got to be favourite for it. But a good effort, another shot on target. You know, much better. You know, the last 5 or 10 minutes when we've had the goal, you know, we've been so much more, you know, confident on the football, which is what we want.
Control the knife. Ollie, you do it. Prezi in the middle. Prezi in the middle. And again.
Ipswich coming forward with centre half Mthunzi out towards Mendel. Carr. McDonald and Chadwick. Carr's caught late. Mendel gets away. Referee will bring it back. It was definitely caught late on Carr. It's the issue of, was it an advantage?
Yeah, I think it's one of them, isn't it? It wasn't really an advantage. He tried to let it go, which is good from the referee's point of view, because we quite like that, but that's what we want to see from referees, to let them go to see if they've got the advantage. But it wasn't, and he came back. It was a free kick, and I think the referees most likely made the right, you know, decision there. But again, more good play from our point of view. You know, we're getting in around the football. Again, it's another dangerous position from Ipswich's point of view with the height they have in that.
Dangerous ball, hits the
Hit the
frame
post.
of the goal, dips to the crossbar. Mahady was beaten. I think it was Boswell, the fullback, that's had an effort. Two-man wall, easily beaten. And yeah, Mahady was unable to get to that. McDonald.
That was a bit harsh, that one, I have to say.
So I think Chadwick's one is going to
Yeah.
get penalised for the high boot. Who's on a card, Chadwick? There's a few players for Leeds that are walking the tightrope. Ipswich are seeming Carr's the one for them. He's winding up players. The referee, I think he's trying to tell him to calm down. I mean, the issue is Chadwick probably leaves the foot in expecting the free kick. The issue is he's got to watch himself because
it looks like he goes over it. We'll see it again here.
So he thinks this is a foul.
Yeah, that.
But he doesn't need to do that.
It looks quite bad, does that one? I don't think he's really caught him, to be perfectly honest. But you know, he's lifted his leg, he's gone over the ball, and all that kind of stuff. So you could say he's very lucky there to not get a yellow card.
Good work from Gray. Just forces Ipswich backwards. Didn't have to retreat there originally, but the work from Gray again has forced another error. McDonald lining up if he is going to take the throw in, but it won't be him. It will be Lienou that comes across to take this.
Good centre forward play. And
He's fed off scraps again, hasn't he? You know,
he has, and that's what he's good at. But he's working his socks off up there, which, you know, sometimes that's
break off because Mahady's got a foot race here. He wins it, but now Leeds have got to be careful. They can't lose possession. Pickles make sure of that.
White's got to be aware of what's going on there. He just turned his back totally.
Marcus has a gap in there for Mendel's break off as Ayinde gets across. Cresswell stops that. They're saying it'll be a late challenge. I think Cresswell, not only has he been very brave there, he's been smart. He knows the challenge coming in means he can put his body in the way. And
it's getting a bit feisty out there, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the referees, I don't necessarily, you know, it's not all about our opinion. You know, the referee's in charge, isn't he? But I don't necessarily look at that. I think that's a definite yellow card. He's overrun it a little bit. He backs out. He turns the foot away. It's a foul, but
yeah,
he fits the. You know, the referee, in fairness to him, he's been consistent. He has. When he thinks it's a worthy.
Yeah, he has been consistent on that side of it, and you know, we know nowadays that sometimes you can't touch people, and yeah, the cards are used maybe a bit too much. But I think there's a few on a bit of a tightrope, as I say. For them, is it Carr at the top there on number 10? He's very close. He's chirping up to everybody, but we've got a few lads now on yellows as well, which we've got to be careful, because this ref will give another one, and there'll be a red. I'll be very surprised if there isn't a red by the end of the game, to be perfectly honest, the way it's been going at this present moment in time.
Yeah. It's a very fair point as Cresswell goes back to Lopata-White. A reminder of the other subs for Leeds, if they need to try and maybe cool things down out there, is Brockie, you've got Howson, and then you've got Pirie as well. Chadwick over the top, looking for Gray. Keeper decides to head it. Gray, I think, felt that there's something either frustrating with his team where it's pressurising, or he claims there was something wrong from the goalkeeper's interception as Ayinde turns out of traffic.
Yeah, I think he was expecting somebody to be following him up a little bit to keep the press on, because he'd created that from the keeper coming out on that side of it. And I think that's what Harry was kind of expecting, somebody else to follow in, and he starts that move, so he kind of goes, then everybody else, that's the trigger for everybody else to then really put the press on, and I think he was disappointed that nobody else then put the press on behind him.
Yeah, issue here for Boswell. Physio is going to be signalled to come on. See what happened here. Boswell was there in good time.
I think he was struggling when he was going down there, to be honest. You could see he was that left leg, I think, just trailing along.
Yeah, he's seeming to stretch that out, isn't he? So he's obviously felt something with a muscle, because he just needs to slow down. Leeds have got the opportunity to refresh things. Looks like it'll be a change for Ipswich with Joshua Lewis preparing to come on. Looks like they are deciding that Ashton Boswell's race is run. Key moment in the game, this, because it's just sort of quietened down in terms of chances. You know, a penny for Ipswich's thoughts. They arguably, you know, as part of that group, they will have gone in thinking this should be 3-1. Let's kill them off second half. They now find it at 2-2, and they've lost that momentum they'd built up.
Exactly, and that's what we were saying. You know, the next goal is massively important. It's also very important sometimes to keep in these games when it's not going right for you, which is what the boys did in the first half. You know, it wasn't the best performance that first half at all from Leeds' point of view, and you know they've dug in. They've got the rewards with the goal in the second half, and you know now it's 2-2. You know, Ipswich are going to be thinking, how are we, as you say, how are we in that position? But Leeds, on the same side of it, is we've played better this second half. We've kept hold of the ball a little bit more. We've, you know, the managers had them in at half time and just kind of had a bit of a chat to them and reorganise. And there seemed to be a little bit more on the front foot, which is what we want. There's the odd occasion when they're still on the heels, but it's been a lot more promising this second half than it was in the first half.
Is a very powerful centre half. He's impressed all day today with his defending of his boxers. Dudley and Carver coming together. It's a good challenge. The referee says that Pickles fouled Carr. Again, you can just tell he's
just annoying. He's annoying me. Never mind the lads who are on there.
He's just trying to pick Pickles his boot up as he got up. He is. I think he's one of those. If he's your teammate, great. If he's not, villain number one until afterwards, and you shake hands and think, right, we'll get revenge on you next time.
Yeah, I think as I say, it's annoying me up here, and it's like, you know, there's little bits like that there. There's no need for him to try and, you know, do his football boot and stuff, which is what he's trying to do. I don't know if he's mimicking and just having a bit of a laugh, but, you know, look, he's give me a 50-50 with him and I'll show him who's the boss, basically, which is the next step.
Referee says that ball had gone. It was tenacious work from Joshua Lewis.
They're not lacking of confidence, though, Ipswich, other. You know, they've got
it's a good sign, isn't it? You want an academy team to.
There's a happy medium with it, if you ask me. You know, because you're still learning your trade, you still need that arrogance. I get that, you know, and that's what some of these lads do have. They've got some good players in their team here. You know, Baggott at the back, to be fair, he's the opposite. He's just a big, old-fashioned centre half, isn't he? But he can play a little bit as well. But you know, put it up there, and he's gonna win the headers. But yeah, we just need to keep close to them. As I said, I'll be very surprised if we get through the whole game and we haven't got a red card with some of the yellows which we've got in key positions.
Mendel puts it through, looking for Thomas. It'll eventually reach the fullback, who's put too much on it. Lewis's first chance to cross was a tap-in header for Ayinde, and he's just put far too much power on that.
Good tracking back again. You know, Douglas has he's run the whole pitch there to put him under a little bit of pressure, which is what you want from your wingers. You can see him there. He's tracking back as much as he can. Just put a little bit of pressure on him, and as you said, just too much, you know, with a cross.
Mahady wide to McDonald. Fouled by Mthunzi. Just giving a few instructions out from his coaching team at centre half. This is a game that you feel might be one at the final moment. Give him a chest from here on in, who can make the mistakes and force something of note, as Dudley's got goal side. Great work. He's got support play with Pickles. Just goes on his own a little bit. Played himself into a bit of a one-way street, though, in doing so. Ayinde gets clear. Up to Thomas. There's the out ball that Ipswich are craving all afternoon. And that's the sort of striker player that you want when you've got that sort of big target, man. It's exactly what you need at this level to relieve the pressure.
Exactly. You do need that. I thought it was a bit of a soft free kick, to be fair, but you know, he's held it up very, very well. You know, he's the captain for a reason. He's leading by example, isn't he, up there? But that's what we sometimes need. We just, when it comes into our, you know, he knew he was running onto the ball. He's getting hold of it. He's got his hands feeling where everybody is. You know, he was kind of waiting for that free kick to come in and take the pressure off, you know, Ipswich, you know, from having the free kick.
Good work, Douglas. Just gets there in time. He's put Baggott on the back foot. He's trying to get to Gray. Leeds hoping to force an error here. In doing so, they've got to not concede a free kick. Lienou, Chadwick. Chadwick's frustrated. I think he feels that the defender's going to catch him at the last second. He didn't. And Stephen Turner just got away from trouble. Won the challenge and made sure that the ball was back in Ipswich hands. But all of that from Douglas's pressurising Andy, which then triggered Gray. Everything just seemed to get a lift from that.
Well, you see there what happened. Everybody went up at the same time, which then kept us in the, you know, in their half, you know, deep in their half. You know, that was exactly what Harry Gray was talking about earlier on when he was shouting at people when he'd done all the running across. He wants that same trigger for everybody to go forward. So, you know, great play from the lads. You know, working in sync. You know, once one goes, they all go. It's not just one going and the rest all sitting there. You know, he's putting the pressure on. So they've been a lot better this second half than what that first half is. It's a lot more competitive all over the football pitch, you know, and you know, we've had a lot more of the football as well, which is, you know, all good going forward. You know, 70 minutes in, you know, it's and we 2-2 in that first half. As we said, that first half we were poor, but the second half we've been a lot better.
Flip down the line from Barbrook. Carr's trying to draw the foul, gets what he wants. Scott Garner just tells Cresswell it's silly, but again, when it's the number 10, you can. Cresswell's smile on his face suggests that, yeah, he's fine doing it. He wanted to send him on the deck. It does appear that anytime Chadwick goes near a challenge, Ipswich are going to ground. They want him sent off, don't they? They're trying to get under the skin. That might be his last warning, that free kick.
Yeah, I think we've just got to be careful. I think the lads have to be careful, aware that sometimes you kind of forget that you've got a yellow card. You know, sometimes you've just got to be aware of your challenges, because the ref does want to give, you know, silly little free kicks around, and he's branded a few yellow cards, which, you know, may be a yellow, may not be a yellow. But again, with another dangerous area from Ipswich's point of view, you know, it's coming in. They've got some big lads in there. You know, it's a dangerous area that we have to concentrate for. And if you were a centre half, you'd be very annoyed that was the ball which came in. You've got to miss that first man.
Lienou steps up to try and win the ball back. Barbrook holds him off. Gray just keeps him self-central. Doesn't want to try and press just yet. Now he starts that run. Mendel's touch. So good. Second just as good. He's having a field day out there. He goes to ground. Ref says no penalty. The game is still going on. Enahoro-Marcus clears. It'll be a throw-in. And there's been some great players over the years. We've watched at academy level, and a lot of them, thankfully, have been in Leeds colours. But in terms of on the eye and trickery and skills, there's not many that we've seen that have had the same confidence as the number 7, Tudor Mendel.
I was about to say, you know, confidence has been the word. He's grown in confidence and trying all the tricks. As a Leeds player, you'd be wanting to leave something on him a little bit, because nobody likes to see somebody doing tricks against you. But he's full of confidence, and you know, you do like it. You like to see it. You know, that these kids have got this confidence to do that. And today it's all coming on. It's all coming off on him. It's all working, and it's all going in the right direction. So, you know, fair play to him for trying all these things. But showboating at 2-2. I think I'd have a bit of a word around my team, as I said before, and I think I'd be saying, look, let's get tighter to him. Let's not make him so he can't do the tricks. Let's put a bit of pressure on him. You know, he's a little bit lightweight. You know, let's really put the, you know, the pressure onto him so he can't do all these fancy little tricks.
Corner taken short. Ipswich are making a change. It's Oudnie-Morgan that is entering the fray once this ball has gone out. Headed down into the floor by Enahoro-Marcus. Gray can't get to the clearance. He will pull the player back. In fact, just as they're about to get away with it, referee pulls that free kick into Ipswich's favour, which is another frustration for Leeds. The referee told to stop for the sub.
That's all, Big Lou. Get your body shape right. Get the distances right. Very central, Chris. Dudley, the nine's going to block you.
Not sure they are making the change. Actually, they're happy to delay it.
Cover, Lou.
Mendel's ball in, begging for a touch. Enahoro-Marcus gets to it. Ipswich player hits the deck in Mthunzi. It will be another corner.
Good delivery from him as well there, into a really dangerous area. But again, good defending from our point of view. You know, we're all in the right areas, but it's a great ball in. And we're first to the header. But again, another set piece now to defend against.
Carr's delivery, far post. Baggott heads it up and away. It'll be a goal kick for Leeds. And they will make the change now, just if Leeds felt they might be able to counter-attack and catch them off guard. The change will come, and it will be number 6 that makes way, and that is Stephen Turner, who's been pretty quiet offensively, but he's been a busy man, making sure Leeds can't break through midfield. Often goes unnoticed, the work of a holding midfielder, but Oudnie-Morgan is on for the last 13 minutes of this game. Mahady's pass is blocked. He will just pick it up to calm things down. A nice moment for everybody involved.
He got away with one there, didn't he? You can see what they're trying to do. They're trying to get him onto his left foot, so he has to then make that decision and play a ball. We know that he can do it, but they're trying to put as much pressure onto him as much as possible, you know, in that position. But he definitely got away with one there.
Ipswich will feel that Leeds got away with one there as well. They felt that throwing was there, as Leeds will not have one bit of guilt as Enahoro-Marcus goes over the top. Gray with the arms out to suggest that is never in the game plan. Ipswich get a free bit of defending to do without much pressure. Mendel knocked off the ball. And then gives him a bit of a nudge. Referee just trying to put a lid on things. Chadwick. McDonald. Scott Garden now telling his team they've broke the press and to get on their way, which they've done so. McDonald just goes without it. Carr wins it back. Oh, he buys a free kick there. The fans on that far side. He dives over the feet of Josh McDonald to win the free kick. He'd gone without it. That's certainly how it looked. So McDonald at least forgets it here, Andy. Just goes without it. Carr wins it back, and then just seems to leapfrog over the challenge to ensure he wins a free kick.
Again, I don't see a free kick in that at all. As we've said before, he does like to blow the whistle a little bit, and he's given a few little free kicks, but also on the same side like there, he's just let it go. So, I think somebody said at the very start, the manager said it's not hard.
Break off because Mendel's got the better of Lienou, wants to cut it back. Lopata-White reads it. Still not gone out of play. Babb keeps it alive. Mendel brings it under control once again. Back to Carr. Pickles tracking, trying to get to fellow midfielder Barbrook. Now Baggott. Leeds have got everybody back behind the ball apart from Harry Gray. Chadwick tries to put the centre half under pressure.
Control the second box. Out, Pickles! Out, Pickles!
Mendel running at the box. Not where Leeds want him. Has a go. Just a bit of a daisy cutter. But a free effort, I think, is the main frustration for Leeds in the last 10 minutes. You allow a flair player to have a free effort, you're asking for trouble.
Yeah, he's been their best player, hasn't he, today? And you can't give him that much space because, you know, he could have just put one into the top right-hand corner there. But, you know, luckily for us, you know, Mahady was in the right position and made it quite an easy save for him. But we do have to be careful of him because he is full of, you know, full of confidence. He's their number 7. And
yeah, Babb's ball in, good header, and they've scored. And it is Finlay Barbrook that's got it. Peeled away at the far post. Babb put it on a plate for him, and he just headed it back across the goal. Mahady was too far across, trying to cover. And it's a very, very well taken goal by Ipswich. At a key moment, 10 minutes left, they lead 3-2.
Far too easy though, isn't it? You know, it's a great header, I've got to say. You know, he's put it back into the other side, but I think Dudley's got to follow him and make it a lot harder because it's kind of a free header what he's got. It felt like a nothing ball which was coming in off that right hand side from them, and he just drifted in around the back post and, you know, made a tough finish look very easy. You know, he just cushioned it across Mahady, who had absolutely no chance on that. But all that hard work this half, you know, to get back into this game, and, you know, I would say a simple cross, and we've just let him run off us. And as I say, Ipswich now 3-2. 10 minutes to go.
Don't panic, we've got time. We've got time. Work the chance.
Enahoro-Marcus into Pickles. And Dudley and drive into traffic. He's got Douglas on his outside, 3 on his in, including striker Gray. Out to Douglas. Trying to float it. Nobody there in a white shirt though. Enahoro-Marcus back to Lienou. No option down the line because McDonald's on his inside, so Leeds have to go back into their own half. Cresswell to Douglas, well weighted, out to Chadwick, room to shoot. All blocked by Mthunzi. Douglas again. Douglas. Out to Dudley. McDonald looking for Lienou. Miss hits it. Ipswich waiting for that mistake. Tudor Mendel, who's able to take a bit of fizz out of the game. It's out to Carr. Wide towards Ayinde. Racing forward is Lewis. Change ready for Ipswich. We'll see Joshua Pitts come on. Brockie's getting ready to come on for Leeds. He's wearing the number 14 jersey. Mendel gets past them again, pushing the back from McDonald. And that's a nod of, I think, respect. Once he's got past them, they're just happy to take him out.
Yeah, just frustration, isn't it? Everything what he's tried today, you know, down that right-hand side has kind of come off for him. He's very left-footed. He wants to come in onto his left foot. He wants to cut back all the time. You know, there he had a little bit, few little deflections when he was going through, and it still ran for him. You know, when it's your day, it's your day. But yeah, frustration, and there should be frustration as well because the second half, you know, for the majority of this second half, we've been the better team, and you know, we let in an innocuous kind of cross which beats everybody, and they get to the 3-2. But look, there's still a few minutes left, and they've still got a chance here.
Yeah, so Johnny Howson's also coming on for Leeds. He'll replace Louis Enahoro-Marcus. Josh McDonald will make way for Brockie, so I think McDonald's just maybe tweaked something. He's limping a little bit behind the goal, so he did come on as a sub. He's now off. Mendel has a crack. Not really miles away to say everyone just gets on with it so nonchalantly. It wasn't something that Rory Mahady expected to go over his crossbar so easily as Lopata-White out-muscled, wins his side of threat.
Get the ball. Wants to play. Rio back in. Josh, right toes. Right toes. Right go. Right we go. Yes, right we go. Right we go. I'm tight. Get the ball.
Free kick. So a foul on Brockie. White from Mahady into the channel looking for Douglas. He was fast, but Baggott's just going to let this go out. Simple enough defending for the Ipswich man.
Yeah, just get his big frame just in between the ball and the player and just shepherded it out. But you know, big, you know, Johnny Howson's come on now. You know, you can see him already just shouting to get into space, move into this bit, move into there, and you know that's kind of what Johnny's there for. But you know, the lads will be really disappointed. I think the manager will be really disappointed with the second half of the scoreline. Not the way we've played, but certainly with the scoreline. It's hard work now to get that one back because Ipswich are just going to try and shepherd everything you possibly can out of play and just make it really difficult for us to break them down in this last 4 minutes.
Ipswich just natural, just dropping a bit deeper. Try to stop any space in behind for Leeds to try and navigate. As a result, Howson and Lopata-White have just pretty much exchanged passes for this few seconds. Lopata-White to Mahady, Howson just shuffling to help and get a bit of an angle. And they'll drive it forward, the veteran of this team, also coach now in the setup. Cresswell racing to get back, cushions it to Mahady, who tries to fire it forward. It's the legs of a Ipswich player. Good covering work from Pickles. Brockie squeezes it forward to Chadwick. He's tired legs there, he's got barely a chance to get it under control. He will at least try and put the pressure on. Mahady took no chances there.
Not like him either, is it really? I thought, you know, little ball out to Dudley on this right hand side there and we could have got throwing, but look, if you think that you're under so much pressure, you're better to put it out and reset.
Foul from Brockie according to Ipswich. Referee will now stop the game. I don't think he's actually given the free kick. He's just checking on both players because they stayed down. Or is he giving the free kick? He didn't signal advantage. Brockie won the header, comes into midfield. The referee never signals that he's let the play go on, so there's the confusion.
Was a free kick though, wasn't it? He pushed him in the back there, but they're just frustrating us, aren't they? You know, we know there's a few of them which are frustrated in the whole game, but that's what their aim now is just to frustrate and wind the clock down.
Mendel driving centrally, trying to draw out a free kick. Rolls it perfectly out to the fullback Lewis. Carr has a go. More wide, leading to try and get this ball back in play quickly. 4 minutes of stoppage time signalled at Thorp Arch. Gets away from Gray. Big gap to the rest. Next Leeds player, Howson nips in. Down the line to Gray. Needs to get away from trouble. He's got Carr wrestling him. Brockie gets there. Now Chadwick. And the hit pass. Just stops any momentum Leeds had built up. On Chadwick, no doubt about it. Carr and Chadwick will no doubt come to blows again here. There'll be a nudge here and there. Mthunzi didn't play the ball, but referee said there's not much in it. Offside against the forward. Howson takes a quick free kick. Leeds running out of time, getting desperate. Cresswell tries to fizz the pass to Gray. Too much on it. And Leeds may get one more attack, Andy, at the very best.
Yeah, it's been disappointing, really, hasn't it, with the with them getting a third? Because I think the second half we've created some chances. We've played much better football than we did in the first half. Certainly on that side of it, and they've got some good players, mind. They've put a bit of feist into it. They've made it a bit of a battle as well. But I think the lads will be disappointed once they got back into it that this is where we're at. But there's still time here. We're putting a bit of pressure on the corner.
Yeah, Brockie just about got to the goalkeeper, Gray, but it's a good clearance to say that they looked to be in real trouble. Very good clearance, because now Dudley has gone to ground. That isn't a free kick. Referee's played on, rightly so. Mahady. This is where Leeds have to try and find any form of joy. When Ipswich have gone for it, that should be a free kick. I mean, Carr is on a card. Leeds are asking the question. Lienou's asking the question.
I think, when you look at some of the other ones which he's given, he's kind of lost his footing, but he's going in really quick. That's a yellow card all day long, if you ask me.
Lopata-White looking for the far post, but misplaced pass. Howson picks it up. Lienou. Back to Cresswell. Again back to Mahady. Leeds have a minute left. And they're not in the right areas. Dudley now. Brockie makes a run to the channel but stops. Pickles dropping short. Towards Douglas. Wide to Dudley. Brockie's asking for it in behind. Baggott comes across and forces him wide. Leeds wanted to try and get it central. They have. Now back out to Douglas. Skips onto his left foot. A pass needed. Cresswell leans back. They worked it very well there, Leeds United. And that will be that. Nobody seemed to rush it. Movement was good, Andy. The layoff was smart. Everything just the last shot.
Absolutely. I think everything was there, and it was sat beautifully for you. There's a right footer there just to place it into the bottom corner. If anything, he's hit it too sweetly, and it's gone over the bar. And I think, as you say, this will be the last kick of the game. Disappointing to be losing 3-2. The first half wasn't good enough. They've come out the second half and they've definitely played better. And I think they will be disappointed that they've gone out losing this game and not getting something from it. And but plenty of positives, but also there's some negatives which they can work on, which is what this is all about. They've got to work on the negatives as well. But 3-2. As I say, you're 2-1 down, you get back to 2-2. You're kind of wanting to be, on the front foot then. And for me, a weak goal for Ipswich to win it, really.
Yeah, this should be the last action. Carr will make this pass into the corner. And there is the full-time whistle. And Ipswich take the 3 points from Thorp Arch. Very well organised. Took their chances when they got them. Leeds showed flashes once again of what they could do this season. A very young group that will learn their trades. After starting the season with a win, it is a defeat in match day 2 in the PL2. So goals from Gray and Cresswell not enough. Leeds United have lost by 3-2. Have a great rest of your day on Sunday and join us for more coverage in the next few days.